Hey guys, Johnny Crims 2000 here, and welcome to my latest Let's Play. Today I'm going to be doing a short Let's Play of Street Fighter, the original one. That's right, not number 2, not number 3, not number 4, not Alpha, not HD Remix, Turbo, HD, Turnaround, whatever. No, I'm doing a Let's Play of the original Street Fighter, the original one that nobody ever really talks about. And there are significant differences here. As you can see here, we select a country, and that mistakenly said England, even though that was clearly the Union Jack flag, which is actually the flag of Great Britain and the United Kingdom, not exactly England. And you guys can see there, Section Z over there at the top left, a little reference to another Capcom game that I may be covering in my retrospective series. We'll see. But anyway, this is the original Street Fighter. Obviously, there are a lot of differences. As you can see here, you get to choose one of 4 different countries: Japan, United States, England, even though that's really Great Britain or the United Kingdom even, and China. So here I'm going to go up against Retsu. And Retsu is... I think it's Retsu, right? Can't remember. He's really just a monk. Now, the one thing that you guys will notice right away is that this game is very, very choppy. I mean, don't adjust any of your settings on YouTube or wherever you may be watching this. This has nothing to do with the compression of this video. This is exactly how the game plays. Ryu is very, very choppy. He doesn't really walk. He kind of hops forward, and it gets some getting used to. Even then, I don't think anybody really ever gets used to the controls. As you guys saw there, I got beat mostly because of the wonky controls. Now, the one thing about this game is that it does have the special moves. As you guys can see there, I just pulled up the Fireball, the Dragon Punch, and the Hurricane Kick. But my god, are they so hard to pull off. As you guys can see there, most of the time, and I'm just going to be, spoiler warning here, all you're going to see from my end is just me going around punching and kicking all over the place. The reason is that, as you guys can see there, when you pull off a special move, whether it's the Hurricane Kick, the Fireball, or the Dragon Punch, it takes up a ton of damage, as you guys saw there, from your enemy if it connects properly, if they don't block it. So it's better just to try to spam your special moves than to try to actually attack with punches and kicks that are just all kinds of wonky. So that's exactly what I'm going to do in this Let's Play. That's exactly what I do every time I play this game. And holy crap, voices! So now we're going up against Geki, the ninja, in front of Mount Fuji, I believe that's in the background. Geki is actually one of the cooler characters in this game, or at least one of the cooler characters that never really left the original Street Fighter, which there are a few still left. He is a ninja, obviously. He has a claw in one hand. He disappears and reappears right in front of you, who throws his shurikens, or however you want to pronounce it. And I don't actually... he might use the claw every once in a while, but most of the time he's just teleporting and throwing his ninja stars. So, ironically, he barely ever uses that claw, but he's not that hard. See, look at that. One fireball and it took up almost half of his entire life. And look at that. It's so easy. But again, it is so freaking hard to pull off these moves that, you're really... again, I mean, they're all performed the same way that you remember them. Quarter circle forward, punch for the Dragon Punch, or for the Fireball. The Dragon Punch motion is still the same, and the quarter circle back kick for the Hurricane Kick. And this is a bonus stage, which I fail horribly because my timing was off. Or actually, not this one. There's another one coming up. But these are essentially your little bonus stages. I actually like these, but they never came back in Street Fighter for whatever reason. They came back in Art of Fighting, though. And now we're fighting Joe. Joe is possibly the dullest Street Fighter in the history of Street Fighter. He's essentially just some American, blonde American guy with red pants, and he's supposed to be a kickboxer, but it's like he could just be like any random thug. And he's, easy. He doesn't have any like distinct moves, other than there's one move there where he jumps up and does a turning back kick, which you may be surprised to find out that same move Cody uses in Street Fighter Alpha 3 and Street Fighter 4 when he came back. And in fact, a little bit of trivia here, because you know how much I love my trivia. Joe was actually supposed to come back for Street Fighter Alpha 3, but Cody took his place. But he did gain one of Joe's moves, which was that turning back kick that he always does. But essentially, Joe is a very dull guy. He will always be dull unless Capcom somehow recreates him, which I don't know exactly how likely that will be. Anyway, here we're fighting up against Mike. Mike, there's so much going around Mike. A lot of people think that he's actually Balrog. Obviously, he looks like Balrog, and he's a boxer. And, you know, he is American, so there's that as well. The thing about it, though, is that Capcom has never really, you know, flat out said, or at least to my knowledge, I don't think they've ever flat out said that they're different. But there are many clues to say that they are not the same person. Well, for starters, a lot of people say that they're the same person because Mike is his name, and in the Japanese version of Street Fighter 2, Balrog's name, the way that we know him in America, his actual name is Mike Bison. You know, you guys can read up on all that about how, you know, all the names got swapped in the American version. So Balrog, the Balrog that we know in America, the boxer, his real name is supposed to be Mike. And this guy's name is Mike. So a lot of people think that, hey, Mike, Street Fighter 1, Mike, Street Fighter 2, same person. But in this book called All About Capcom, or All About Street Fighter, I can't remember, which basically shows all the artwork and stuff like that, they do have kind of like individual character profiles of each of the characters from Street Fighter. And Mike from Street Fighter 1 and Balrog, or Mike Bison as he's known in Japan, has a separate a separate character bio. So a lot of people saw that as like, yeah, they're supposed to be different people. And yeah, I just got owned by him. I just wanted to show like just how easily people can kill you with their special moves. Even though Mike doesn't really have special moves, he kind of just punched me to my kneecap. Still won't down though. It's alright, I'll get him this time. And as you guys can see there, Ryu himself also looks a bit different. You can see there that he actually isn't barefoot in this game. He actually has like these little red slippers, which I don't know how I feel about that. His headband is white instead of red, the way it is in Street Fighter 2. And his hair is a lighter shade of brown, almost red, almost. So obviously in Street Fighter Alpha, which in the storyline, if you want to say that Street Fighter Alpha and the original Street Fighter series coincide with one another, which a lot of people think that they do, then this makes sense because in Street Fighter Alpha, Ryu looks closer to what he looks like here than he does in Street Fighter 2. In that his headband is white, his hair is a lighter shade of brown than it is in Street Fighter 2, and although he loses his slippers, so there's that. It's just really interesting going back. I suggest everybody just go back to this game and just try to see where Street Fighter was at the beginning. It's very interesting. So now here we have the second kind of bonus game. It's basically just breaking boards. If you've ever seen any kind of martial arts, really, like karate or taekwondo, they do this a lot. I am guessing kung fu because those guys were dressed in kung fu uniforms. Now we're going up to China and we face off against Lee. Now Lee also had a little bit of a rumor mill going around in that a lot of people thought that he was Yun and Yang's father. And that Gen, who is also in this game, was their grandfather. As far as I know, Lee isn't in any way related to Yun and Yang, but I do believe that Gen is in some way. I can't remember exactly how it is, but like I said, it's always interesting to kind of go back and see like what connections all these characters have to one another. But as far as I know, Lee has no kind of connection to any character. He's just like a kung fu fighter, and my god is he quick. It would be interesting to see him come back though. I think he would make a really cool character, like a kung fu fighter. Even if we already have Yun and Yang and Gen. But yep, that was Lee. Not that much, not really all that interesting, honestly. And yeah, all these guys when you defeat them say the exact same thing. Absolutely no difference. And my god, Gen, you look so weird back in the day. So yeah, this is Gen. This is the exact same Gen that you will eventually see in Street Fighter Alpha 2 and Alpha 3, and again in Street Fighter 4. He doesn't really do all that much, however, in this game. I can't even remember if he actually has a special move, or a particular move, that is unique to him, other than just punching and kicking. I also failed to mention before with Birdie, is that, yes, in this game he was white. Actually, I don't know. I don't think we fought him yet. Never mind. We saw him briefly at the beginning. I guess I'll just talk to about him a little more when we actually face him again. But yeah, this is pretty much all you do in Street Fighter, in the original Street Fighter. You just hope to God that you hit something. The thing about Street Fighter 2 is that the original arcade cabinet had like these pressure pads. They didn't have buttons. They had pressure pads. They had 2 pressure pads, one for punching, one for kicking. And the way that you kind of... It still had 3 inputs each, so you still had like a weak, medium, and strong punch, and a weak, medium, and strong kick, but it used the pressure pads. And my god, I failed this bonus stage. I want to say I did it on purpose, just so you guys could hear just how crazy his voice is. Like he's like, "Oh my god!" Man, that was high pitched. And yes, now we're going to England, aka United Kingdom, because they got the flag wrong. And this is Birdie. Yes, this is the same Birdie that you will eventually see in Street Fighter Alpha series. And yes, he is white. They retconned him to being African descent. I wanted to say African American, but he's not African American. He's African British. I want to say, I don't know. Call me ignorant, but I don't know what the term is. So they retconned him to have dark skin instead of being completely white, and the reason for it is that he was sick during this tournament, and that's why he was pale. Okay then. As you guys can see in the background, there's a graffiti on the wall that says Bill Craven, sorry. A lot of people don't actually know what that's about. Bill Craven was a figure that was very instrumental in kind of distributing a lot of arcade machines, including Street Fighter and a lot of Capcom games. So I believe he was American. So in order to kind of say thank you, he was forever immortalized in the graffiti in the stage of Birdie there. So there's your bit of trivia from Johnny Crimson 2000 about this game. I mean, I always like trivia, but that's one that I feel like not a lot of people know about. So yeah, now you know why Bill Craven is there, and a little bit about what he did and why he's kind of important to Capcom and Street Fighter. Because if it wasn't for him, we probably would not have Street Fighter today. Anyway, this is Eagle. This is Eagle we would see later on in Capcom vs. SNK 2, and then again in the portable ports for Game Boy Advance and PSP for Street Fighter Alpha 3. And in this game, he's a lot tougher. Obviously, as you guys can see there, I got beat by him. He does have his one move where he stretches out his arms and he spins around in circles, kind of like with his arms stretched out with his tonfas. Not tonfas. Kali sticks? I think that's what you call them. And that move returns again in Street Fighter Alpha 3 and Capcom vs. SNK 2. So you do have some sort of a connection there. That's where they got the move from. But obviously, he's less fleshed out in this game. And, yep, he beat me. And right there, that pose that he does right there when he beat me is the same pose that he does in Capcom vs. SNK 2 when he wins a round. And the same thing still applies. He is in this game not so much, but in his reimagining, his reintroduction in Capcom vs. SNK 2, he is a kind of homage to Freddie Mercury. So yeah, he is homosexual. Go figure, right? I'm not exactly sure where we are in here. I know that this is a landmark somewhere in England, I want to say. Maybe any European people out there can kind of clarify where we're fighting at. I know the castle in the back is supposed to be some sort of a well-known location, but I can't remember where it's at. I'll remember later and be like, crap, I should have put that on there. Maybe if I remember, I'll put it in the comment section. I don't know. So yeah, as I said, I mean, there's really not all that much to say about this game, unfortunately. I mean, all you do really is just go around mashing the button. Oh, as I was saying with the pressure pads, now I remember. You had to kind of hit them, and depending on how hard you hit the pressure pad, you know, either the punch pad or the kick pad, determined your kick. So if I lightly tapped it, you know, the punch pad, it would register as a light punch. If I hit it a little stronger, it would register as a medium punch, and if I just slammed my fist on it, it would register as a hard kick, or as a hard punch rather. And the same thing goes for the kick punching, the kick pressure pad. So as you guys can see, these arcade machines broke down rather easily a lot of times, and sooner or later Capcom realized that, and realized that the control was crap enough. So then they kind of re-released Street Fighter with the more traditional 6-button layout. You know, 3 punch buttons and 3 kick buttons. Woo, that's a lot to explain. So anyway, we go to Thailand. Thailand is the last country that we visit. Obviously, we can't choose it at the beginning because it is the last one. We have to beat all 4 of the previous countries before we go here. And this is add-on. Yes, the exact same add-on that would later be reintroduced in Street Fighter Alpha and Street Fighter 4. I want to say Arcade Edition? Can't remember. It's a lot of characters to keep up with, guys. I'm sorry if I missed something. But yeah, add-ons actually, I got really lucky in this one. Add-on can completely tear you up with that flip kick that he does. I can't remember what it's called. I want to say Jaguar Tooth. I want to say. I know it's Jaguar something. Oh boy, here we go. Ryu versus Sagat. Yes, this is the fight that you will see later on that both Ryu and Sagat will mention throughout the entire Street Fighter canon storyline about how Ryu beat Sagat and took his title, or the championship rather, and gave him his scar on his chest. As you can see there, he doesn't have one right now because Ryu hasn't given it to him yet. And my god, Sagat is such a... he's so hard in this game. Look at that. He did one, you know, tiger shot, and he took out most of my health. And yes, he does have his knee, he's such a bastard. And my god, you guys, I'm gonna speed through this part, but just know right off the bat that I condensed 15 minutes worth of footage in this one speed up section right here because I get owned so freaking badly. Mind you, the original footage was about 26 minutes, 30 minutes. All this part that you're seeing right now, 15 minutes long. 15 minutes of fighting Sagat over and over and over again, and I just could not beat him. So you're welcome. Ugh, Sagat is such a pain in this game. I mean, he should be. He's the final boss, but good god. And yes, you are hearing a remix version of Sagat. I will put the link to the YouTube video, the YouTube link to the music that I used. It is a remix. I can't think of the name right now, but I will give credit to the person that posted it on YouTube, if you liked it. Now, as you guys can saw there, Sagat's eye patch actually does fall off in this when you beat him, as it will happen soon enough, or not, maybe next time. I always thought that his legs were weird. I'm sorry, that was a bit random, but look at it. His thighs, the upper part of his legs, seemed like a lot longer than his bottom parts. I don't know what the deal is with that. And I hate when he does that, when he lifts his knee up like that, and he just like, hut. Because you can't really do anything. Look, his eye patch is off. That's weird, isn't it? Like, just to see Sagat without his eye patch. But yeah, his eye patch does fall off in this one. It's the only time in the entire Street Fighter series that actually happens. And it's weird. But anyway, guys, we are going to get lucky in this one. As you guys can see there, I wouldn't have put this match in here unless it was the last one. You don't want to see me get beat like another 15 minutes, you. So yeah, holy crap, we finally did it. We beat Sagat. Obviously, it's not in line with the storyline where, you know, Ryu gets consumed by the Dark Hado and he uppercuts, or he does a Super Dragon Punch to Sagat and gives him his scar that will later show up in Street Fighter 2 and the Street Fighter Alpha series. But you know what? Whatever. And here's the enemy roll calls. Retsus, Geki, Joe, you boring piece of crap, Mike, Balrog or whatever, Lee, Gen, which will become more badass later on, Birdie, he's still looking sick, Eagle, Add-on, my god, you look ugly in this game, and Sagat, what's wrong with your forehead? And you have earned the distinction of King of the Hill, but remember, you have no time to rest on your glory, for there is always someone waiting in line to knock you off the top. Be prepared to be challenged. And there it is, guys. These are the credits. Street Fighter 1, honestly, it hasn't dated all that well. It's extremely dated. I wouldn't recommend this game to anyone other than, you know, hardcore Street Fighter fans or fighting fans, just to see where Street Fighter was at the beginning. But it's a nice little game, although Capcom does like to pretend that that it never happened. And honestly, I kind of hate them for that, because with all the remakes and stuff that they've made with other games in the Street Fighter series, you'd think that this would be the one that needs it the most. I mean, this is the one that needs it the most, so it's kind of weird that they've never done a remake for this. I'm still waiting for that, by the way. So anyway, that's it, guys. I hope you like this short little Let's Play, and I will see you guys in my next video. See ya! As always, if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you want to get more stuff from me. In the meantime, if you like my videos, be sure to find me on Twitter, Tumblr, Raptr, and Screwattack.com to see the other gaming-related content that I upload. Info is in the description. Who knows? Maybe you'll like my stuff. Maybe. Maybe.